okay. Video number 3 in one go. I'll have nothing to do during spring break. It's fine. This is gonna be the signs going through breakups. Or no. I already messed up. This is gonna be the signs staying in relationships. So, something I've noticed about myself and Trisha Paytas, my favorite Taurus queen, is we can't stay in relationships. Now, I don't know the reason why, so if you're coming here to get the reason why you can't stay in a relationship, I'm sorry. I have reason for some. But Tauruses, we never stay in relationships. Oh, puppy! He's so cute. I love him. Good boy. Such a good boy. Ew, my face. So, for Taurus, I think the reason we can't stay in a relationship, I mean, if you watch Trisha Paytas and you watch me, you can tell that we have crack-headed tendencies. And it's kind of off-putting, which, like, totally understandable. I respect it to hate me. I don't approve of it, and I don't appreciate it, but I respect it. Cool, that's better. And I think the reason we can't stay in relationships is because we're seem to be boring, but we have so much going on mentally, and we don't like sharing, and we just have so much that we're just like, no, you can't know, or no, you can't have this. And we're pretty bad at compromising. I think that's why a Taurus can't stay in a relationship. To stay on the topic of why, the other sign that I can think of why is Capricorn. And Capricorns tend to be very mothering, but can't take care of themselves. Or maybe not, it's not that they can't take care of themselves, it's that they put so much effort into taking care of other people that they kind of lose themselves. They let themselves, like, go, kind of. They forget about themselves, really. I think another thing about Capricorns, why they can't stay in a relationship, is they jump to conclusions. Mostly, no, men do it too. I was gonna say mostly women, but, or anything in between, but I think it's because they jump to conclusions, or they let things go, and this is the same for Taurus as well, actually. They let things go, and then eventually it gets pent up inside them, and, like, they're like, hey, like, alright, I'm sick and tired of it. And then they end up sticking in a relationship that they don't really want to be in, and, like, it's just bad. And I've seen it happen to a few Capricorns. So it's not based off of one person. But it's like the same exact thing of being in the same relationship that they don't even want to be in, but dealing with it. And I think eventually it gets to them and they're like, all right, I have to end this. So just because you don't stay in a relationship doesn't mean it's your choice or another person's choice. For Virgos, I think the reason that they wouldn't be able to stay in a relationship is they have very strong personalities. And they're known to be very kinky sign. Not that every relationship means that you have sex, but Virgos tend to be very kinky, and they tend to be a lot about sex. So I think in a relationship with that, a reason they might not be able to stay in one is simply because it gets too much for their Wow. I just watched somebody, like, do a whole turnaround and look at somebody. It was great. I love people watching. And I think the reason that a Virgo can't stay in a relationship is because they can be a little overbearing sometimes. And they don't mean to be. Personally, I love Virgos. They're one of my favorite signs. But I think that's a reason that it can happen. He's starting on earth signs, man. Alright, I think a reason an Aries can't stay in a relationship, and this is gonna hurt some people. I'm sorry already. An Aries can't stay in a relationship because they jump to conclusions, they get very angry, they get angry at people, and expect to win every single argument, whether the person fights back or not, and they consider that they're not actually arguing, when really it's an argument, they just don't let the other person talk. Aries fight on every single thing. Everything. They can be the sweetest people in relationships. They actually are really sweet. They tend to be very sentimental sign. But Aries just fight everything. And Aries is in my chart, so it makes a lot of sense. And I'm a stubborn ass Taurus. But being that, having that said, the reason an Aries wouldn't be able to stay in a relationship is because they don't accept that other people have other opinions and they're not willing to really compromise, which is similar to Taurus as well. However, with an Aries, they will just fight. And when you try to fight back, they're like, no, you're wrong. I'm ending the conversation. You're just like, all right. And you're saying that I'm the... That's fine. I love being friends with so many Aries. Oh, another puppy. Sagittarius, I think a reason that they couldn't stay in a relationship is because they are the partying type and they like to go out and have fun, and sometimes it can grow to, hi Tommy, how are you? It can grow to be a little bit too much for some people, and I think that, when you can't, like, some people want to go out and party all the time, others want to stay in, and I think that Sagittarius is the sign that really wants to, like, have fun and be out there, and there's no problem with that, and there's no problem with wanting to stay in. I think that that could be a reason that they wouldn't be able to stay in the relationship. Leo. Leos, oh man, I think a reason that you guys couldn't stay in a relationship is because you guys expect so much. The thing about Leos is that you guys really, really, really want attention. And if you don't get it, sometimes you're okay with that and you just move on. Other times you're like, no, give me attention, I need it now! Like a little child. I think it can be really irritating to deal with a Leo in the sense of needing to give them constant attention. Otherwise they're like, I want to kill myself. There's nothing left in the world for me. And I think it's just really overbearing to deal with a Leo like that. Not all Leos are like that. Some Leos, they're cool. They're really chill. And like it's that last 2 weeks in July. Those are the more chill Leos. And I think that it becomes unbearable for somebody to deal with somebody that constantly needs that attention and they can't give them that attention. And that's why Leo wouldn't be able to stay in that relationship. Libras couldn't stay in a relationship because they are too judgmental. Their favorite pastime is judging people. It means nothing. They can hate you because you had one pair of pants in your life and they didn't like them, so now they hate you. It can be as simple as you were chubby when you were younger, so now they hate you. It means nothing. But the thing about Libras is that they love judging people. That's like their favorite pastime. But they also judge themselves extremely hard. And being in a relationship with somebody that's judging themselves really hard and you love them or you really care for them can be really hard to be like, all right, I love you, but you won't accept to love yourself. And as RuPaul says, how can you love somebody when you can't love yourself? Like, that's not how he says it. But like, it's really hard to be able to love someone that doesn't love themselves. And like, I don't love myself, so, and no Taurus or Capricorn does, neither does Virgo, going back to earth signs, because we're all self-hating signs, mostly Capricorn. But that's like a really big thing with Libras, and it's unfortunate, but I think that's why they couldn't stay in a relationship. Geminis can't stay in a relationship because they get too bored. They have a significant other, and they get bored, they cheat on them. Cheaters tend to not stay in relationships once their significant other figures it out. Not all Geminis cheat, but it's pretty common. And I think with Geminis, it can get really hard to always be able to entertain them. Like I said, in other ones, it's really hard to entertain. So that kind of happens, and it's unfortunate. Aquarius. You guys tend to be liars. It's fine. But I think that is why you guys couldn't stay in a relationship, is say a lot of things and you make commitments that you can't go through with. And you don't do it on purpose, but it happens. So it's really unfortunate, but it happens. So, yes. Now, water signs. For Cancers, I think the reason you couldn't stay in a relationship is because, did I already do water? I don't think I did. Not sure. But for Cancers, the reason you couldn't stay in a relationship is because you have a very mothering side and you try to protect your significant other at all costs. And it can be overbearing when, like, you're there and your significant other is like, no, I need to be with you. I need to protect you. And they don't normally do this, but some of them can be like that. And I think it for a reason they wouldn't stay in a relationship is because their significant other can't take their care because they feel like they're not giving enough care back. And it's like, I want to care for you and I really do care for you, but you care so much more for me. And like it's like kind of that weird limbo of like, you care more for me, no, I care more for you kind of thing. For Pisces, I think it's because you guys are too emotional and you can't, like, it's really hard to be able to be with somebody that is so overly emotional for you, for themselves, for their family, for their friends, for everything. And they cry over the simplest thing. And it's really hard to be able to comfort somebody who doesn't know how to self-soothe. Which most people don't. It's hard. You often need another person to help soothe you. And then Scorpio. I think the reason you guys couldn't stay in a relationship is because you like need your own time. You want time away from people to really find yourself. And I think you guys do that periodically. You really try to find yourself. And I don't think it's any negativity of why you couldn't stay in a relationship. I think it's just a personal outlook of, you know, I need to be alone right now. And I think that's really good. So I'm glad I ended on a good note. Scorpio, good job for you guys. You're moving up in my like book. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you enjoyed why I think you guys couldn't stay in relationships. I know that I bagged on Earth. Tauruses were just too much to deal with, even though everybody thinks we're boring. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.